One thing is certain, God doesn't need slaves or servants. God has need of nothing and no one. He is self-sufficient. God didn't create the world and everything in it out of need, but out of His fullness and ultimate freedom to create. No one compelled Him to create the world and everything in it. People who don't know God or belong to His family are slaves of their own sins and desires and are held captive by the devil. They are children of this world and children of disobedience and God's wrath. Many people say we shouldn't talk to God as if He were our equal, which is true. God isn't our equal, far from it. God is in heaven and the earth is His footstool. He alone created the heavens and the earth and everything in them. We should fear God alone, but that fear should not make us run away from Him. God didn't make the world and all the creatures in it to abandon them. He is involved with His creation and with every creature in it. We should fear God, but not irrationally. There is a big difference. God has not given His children a spirit of fear, but of sonship, in which they cry, Abba, Father. The fear of God makes us wary of playing with sin and causes us to run from sin. The fear of God reminds us that sin has devastating eternal consequences and that what a person sows, he or she will reap. We often see this with those who live sexually immoral lives or are enslaved in drug or alcohol addiction. Many times their whole lives are dramatically cut short, ruined or destroyed. Very often the family members suffer under their addictions and are abused, neglected and financially ruined. In addition to giving Christians His Spirit, God has also given them a new life and a new identity. Just as you have an ID document or passport with your personal details and a photograph of yourself so that people can recognize and identify you, in the same way, God's children have a new identity whereby people can identify and recognize them as His children. Children of God are the light of the world and salt of the earth. We have this new identity through faith in Jesus Christ, by God's deposit of His Spirit within us. God's children are children of the light, kings and priests unto God, ambassadors for God, heirs of God and servants of God. That is our identity. God has given His children His Holy Spirit, whereby we may have close communion and a vital connection with God. We can share our problems, joys and fears with God. You may have difficulty seeing God as your Father because your natural father may have not spent much time with you or hasn't been a good fatherly example. If your earthly father was distant and cruel to you, be assured that God will never be that way to you. In Matthew 7:11, Jesus said to His disciples, if you then being evil know how to give good things to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask Him? By grace through faith in Jesus Christ, you are a true son or daughter of God. Truths to consider. God in heaven is a caring, loving and affectionate Father who wants you to talk to Him on a daily basis. He is involved in your life and wants you to know it. He even knows how many hairs you have on your head and numbers them. What a privilege we have to speak to God as our Father, knowing that God calls those who believe in Jesus His sons and daughters.